I have nothing against US News and World Report. I don't think they're the problem, frankly, because as Pat O'Connor mentioned this morning, they're doing their job. Their job is to sell magazines, and the rankings accomplish that wonderfully. So the problem is not with their not doing their job. I think the problem is actually with us in terms of colleges and others not doing our job, which is ignoring those rankings and doing what we are supposed to be doing anyway. And actually, when I put out this column and it got some attention, I mean, a whole bunch of guidance counselors around the country, sent me emails saying, "Oh, awesome, and great that you were willing to speak out about this." And I also heard from a guidance counselor who said, "Gee, it sounds really good, but I just went to your website, and your website mentions the U.S. News rankings." And that guidance counselor was right, and we changed it. And we have actually gone through our entire website trying to clean it all up. If you happen to find something we missed, please email me, and we will take care of it. But I think that was a very important lesson also, which is that if you're going to talk the talk, you also have to walk the walk. Now, you all probably know a whole bunch of the reasons why the rankings do not make sense. Let me give you just my impression from the perspective of a president of a college. And it starts, somebody mentioned earlier about receiving the forms to fill out for the peer assessment, right? Which is, as you know, 25% of the ranking is based on how you are ranked by your peers. Now, let me tell you, I got mine in the mail relatively recently. I threw it out. The truth is to think that I have the ability to accurately assess the quality of scores of other colleges, if not hundreds of other colleges, is just crazy. I mean, I know my college. I might know a couple of other colleges. I have no way of knowing their quality. And I think that is true for many, if not most of the people who receive that survey. What is the only thing that we have to tell us how good a college is? Well, their ranking in US News, right? So basically, I think what ends up happening on that peer assessment is that we just end up regurgitating back to US News the information that they just gave us 6 months prior to that. I also know from my experience as dean of a law school that peer assessment can be awfully strange. There was a story that I was told when I started as a law school dean. I believe it's true. It could be apocryphal, of somebody testing by sending out a survey to a whole bunch of people involved in law schools and in the law profession to rank top law schools. And one of the schools that got ranked near the top was Princeton Law School. Disregard the fact that there is no law school at Princeton. So I think that tells you something about how people actually do the rankings. And of course, whenever a parent of a prospective student mentions the rankings to me, even though we do well, I say to them, "How is your child ranked? Yeah. Tell me about how accurate a reflection of your child you think that number is." Of course, the irony is it's precisely those parents who just spent the last 30 minutes in the admissions office explaining why their child's GPA and their child's test scores do not at all reflect the quality or the potential of their child. And actually, they're right that they probably don't, who then turn around and say, "Oh boy, but this number must really reflect who you are." So I think there are some real problems, with first just that first 25%. But then you go deeper. You look at selectivity. Right, and here I think this is 15% of the total score. And selectivity has many different pieces to it. One, of course, is what's your acceptance rate? Of course, I'm sure you all know that any college that wants to can game that acceptance rate number. Right? If I want our acceptance rate to become more favorable, what do? I just go out and encourage applications from a whole bunch of students whom I know we are not going to accept. Right? Poof, my selectivity has improved. I must be a better college. But I think there's something even more worrisome about looking at selectivity. I mean, put aside the fact that you're talking about test scores, right, and incoming ACTs or SATs and GPAs, and I think you all realize that those numbers do not reflect the potential of the students at all. But the whole notion of judging a school by its selectivity is basically saying that we are going to look at the quality of the college not by what happens at the college, but by the quality of the student coming in before the student has even been at the college. That's assuming, again, that this number really does represent quality. I mean, think of what a strange statement that is to make. Here, parents, you're about to spend 6 figures, over $100,000 over the next 4 years at whatever college it is that your child is going to, and we measure the college based not on what it happens to do when your child is there, but on the people who were coming in. Since we're in Detroit, I know cars are important. It's as if we were to say that we're going to measure the quality of the car company not based on the car they produce, but based on the strength of the steel coming into their factory. And I've certainly never seen a car company decide that it was going to advertise based on the quality coming in rather than the quality going out. That I find to be very worrisome. There was an article several years ago in the New Yorker magazine, which I think made this point very well. It spoke about the difference between a modeling agency and the Marines. Great modeling agencies are known for the quality of the models that they manage to recruit and sign up. There is no representation that they have made these people or transformed these people into wonderful models. They're just really good at getting the best models to sign up with them. You look at the Marines, nobody really looks at, okay, what was the person like before entering the Marines? Whoever it was who comes in, the Marines, based on what they do, they shape them and mold them into Marines. By looking at selectivity, basically what we end up saying is colleges are modeling agencies. They're not the Marines. And the truth is, if all we are is a really sophisticated way to screen the quality of people coming in, the truth is we could do that a lot less expensively. If that's what people really want, just a mechanism to filter out those people who are particularly smart, quote unquote, based on those kinds of measures, we could do that really easily. The same holds. I had a wonderful conversation when I was a dean of University of Detroit Mercy Law School with the hiring partner at a big national law firm, right? Because the law school rankings are not dissimilar in this respect. And he made a great comment to me. He said, we hire students from Harvard Law School because we think that they are so smart that whatever damage Harvard might have done to them over the last 3 years really couldn't have hurt too much. I mean, think of, now having gone to Harvard, I actually disagree. I think Harvard did a great job. But think about what that's saying in terms of how they're viewing the time at law school. It really is, this is just an expensive way to filter for us people who we think are going to succeed no matter what. I think that is really, there's an underlying problem with a ranking and with a culture that starts to look at colleges that way.